phase 3 of my interior renovation on my Mach 1 Mustang. So we're about ready to get started. If you missed the last video, I'll link it here. And while you're here, please like and subscribe. Let's get to painting this guy right now. Last time we left off, we painted all the interior pieces, and it's finally time to paint the dashboard and everything that's inside the car. So I want to tape off everything really nicely and make sure not to get like something terrible like paint on my windshield. I know, like in theory, if you get paint on your windshield, you'll just be able to like get a razor blade and scratch it off. But my windshield is tinted, and the last thing that I want to do is accidentally remove some tint and have to get my whole windshield retinted again. That would just be so sad. So I'm making sure to tape off everything, and I use this like brown roll of paper to do so. Also, I started getting like paranoid over the overspray, so I thought, you know, what if like the overspray starts getting the outside of my car, like the windows and the rubbers? So I taped off probably more than I needed to, because there actually wasn't a lot of overspray. I also, when I started painting, I used my, my favorite adhesive promoter that I've been talking about nonstop that I love. So I did like 3 or 4 coats lightly of that adhesive promoter, making sure there was like nice and saturated, but not like drippy, of course. And then I went in there with just so many light coats of the black, the shiny black. And I got, the steering wheel, I got behind the steering wheel, I got the dashboard, I got really every crevice that I could. And at one point I was just basically using all the paint that I had, because I wanted just to make sure that I had a great coverage. I did little scratch tests here and there just to see like the durability of it. Nothing would come off, and the steering wheel still, like as I've driven it around several times after painting it, it's holding up fantastically. Paint on top of where I did the dashboard repair, it didn't really have the same texture as the dashboard, so that was kind of not disappointing, because I didn't expect it to be perfect, but I can see it, probably nobody else can see it. So I bought one of these that I think I'm gonna put on. Tell me if it's stupid. Never liked these things. I've never been a fan of these things. It's like this felt dashboard cover. I don't like them. I think they're just like cheap, but I'm worried that the dashboard's going to re-crack, and I don't want to see that happen after all that work that I did. So if I cover this, it might prevent it from re-cracking, and then if it does re-crack, I won't see it. So I might, what do you think? Tell me what you think if I should use this. It was a suggestion off of one of my TikTok friends. So while we wait for the paint to dry, we are going to go in and assemble the door panels. I've been waiting so long for this. I actually bought new felt strips for the top where the window goes through, and I bought new door lock. I forget what they're called, the little things that go on the door lock. The ones that came on the car when I got it were those like silver billet ones, and we're not putting those. No billet, no billet. It looks good on some cars, but just that's not the look that I have for this. Door panels go in super easy. There's just a couple screws that hold the panel in, and then of course there's a bunch of rivets that go into place. And then you just connect the window and the lock connectors and push everything through. Really simplistic doors to put together. I did buy these armrest scoops. These are new. They actually, I bought them in gray and I painted them black. And then I got new door handle bezels. The ones that came on the car were trashed. I guess, I don't know, somebody had like claws or a paw or something, like bear claw, because it just looked like someone viciously tried to get out of the car every time they opened the car. So the only color that I could find was tan, so of course, you know, I ended up painting them. And these just pop right into place. Easy breezy. These are my new door lock stubby things. These just pop right in. Look how shiny this door is. And same process for the driver's side. I think the most challenging part is just lining everything up, but I was really happy with how easy these were to install, unlike my Camaro, which was a total nightmare to install. That's another video. By the way, can we just notice that it's dark outside behind me, because it's the winter now and it gets dark, so I've lost my daylight. Now I feel like it's so late right now because I see cars coming home and like imagine family sitting down for dinner and I'm working on my project car. With the door panels in, I can start putting in additional coats. Again, like I'm going hog diggity dog wild with these coats of paint. This part's kind of what I look forward to the most. It's the removal. It's so satisfying to like remove all the tape and all the paper and see your work that you've done. I did kind of peel up some of my tint in the corners. I wasn't even thinking about that, so it peeled it up a little bit and I ended up like smoothing it back down. Not the end of the world.
What are you doing?
My soul left my body. I get so into my work, like people will walk by and say, hey, how's it going? And I jump out of my seat, literally out of my seat. I was so worried that all this sticky stuff was going to leave sticky residue on my, you know, my clear dash cluster. It didn't, because I used the beige tape, but I ended up needing a new one anyways, and that'll be a later video, but I had to end up replacing it. It's actually black. It's getting black. Door panels are in. Oh my god. Feels good, looks good. This is gonna be white as well. So I was dreading the headliner ever since I bought it. The original headliner was just a lot more like cardboard, so you know, it was very malleable. The new headboard was, I don't know what ABS plastic is, but it's hard plastic, so it was extremely difficult to get in. I laid out the old one next to the new one, and I finally just ended up laying it on top just to make sure that all the holes were gonna line up, because I didn't want to get that headliner in there and then find out that I didn't have the correct holes. And this was the moment that I also decided that I'm not gonna do visors because I like the sun in my eye, and I'm not gonna do a dome light because I don't want to see anything. And then that little net that you put your sunglasses or cigarettes, didn't do that either. Just a nice clean headliner. I think this headliner was like 300 bucks or 280, and I got it, I believe I got it from OC Carpet, but I'll check it out and I'll leave a link in the description. I did notice that the old headliner had a lot of glue, so I don't know if the headliner depended upon this glue, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna, better safe than sorry, I'm gonna put glue on it. And I agonized over which glue to use, because I thought about using some kind of a glue that would expand, but I thought, what if it expands and actually pushes my headliner away from the roof? So I ended up just using the old JB Weld, my go-to, and then I even realized, well, I'm not sticking a headliner to a metal roof anymore, I'm sticking it to the sound deadening. So what, you know? And getting it in the car was a bitch. Especially because I had painted everything. So can you imagine getting this plastic headliner in and I like scratched the paint off of something? reason, even just anchoring the headliner to the roof was excruciatingly hard. Like the holes weren't matching up right, and because of like where the sun was facing me and where I needed to look, all I could see was black. At one point I got like a camping lantern and tried to see better what I was doing. It was really frustrating. I think actually just the hardest part was the fact that I'm like this the whole time. You know, I'm holding it up, like my arm. I'm a weakling. I can't hold this up. I've got like maybe 3 minutes of holding up. I saw this video on Instagram of like a hang glider, and he didn't get like latched into his hang gliding master, and he held on this whole hang gliding trip until they landed. I would have been dead like that. Like I had no grip. So these are the block off plates that I did for my sun visors, and I kept my sun visors. I have them. They're gray, so it's not like I'm going to use them, but yeah, I still have them. I learned, you know, I'm always learning lessons, and one of the biggest lessons that I learned that I'm incorporating into my new project that I'm working on is don't throw out anything, even if it is trash. Do not throw out anything. I ended up throwing out so much stuff by accident during the Mustang restoration that I needed. So I'm just like, when the stuff that I think is trash, I'm putting in a bucket, so I just have it in case I ever need it or need to reference it. And then taking out the front seat, it's pretty heavy. It's like taking a dead human body out of the car. There's only there's a couple nuts in the front, and it's actually a couple nuts in the front. There's just a couple bolts in the front and a couple nuts in the back, I think, or bolts in the front and nuts in the back, and then you just pull this guy out. Now, I actually listed my seat on OfferUp for free, and this dude came and got it like maybe a couple days after I listed it. So he pulled up in a one of those really cool early 2000s Ford Lightnings that I love, and he actually had a Mach 1 Mustang too, and he showed me pictures, and it was all blacked out just like mine, but his was shiny black, and he wanted to have the original seats. So yeah, he was stoked. He got it. I gave it to him for free. Nice guy. Drove off, and you know, I didn't have to throw it away. I laid the carpet out. They said to lay it in the sun for a couple hours for it to relax. So I laid it out while I worked on the sound deadening. I really didn't, they also said to put the old carpet on top of the new carpet, and I didn't want to do that because the old carpet was filthy and I wanted the new carpet to be like new carpet. Well, I should have done that in hindsight. It probably would have helped me line it up a little bit better. So with the interior all painted and the headliner in, I want to start adding the carpet. But to add the carpet, I have to finish up the sound deadening. So I went to put my Kilmat in, and I was fresh out. And I didn't want to order a massive amount of sound deadening, so I ordered Amazon Basic. And I was expecting the worst. It didn't seem that different. The glue didn't really stick. Like the adhesive kind of sucked. I like my Kilmat, but anyways, it was only for that small portion where the driver's seat is. Only like, you know, the most important area. It was a good bang for the buck though, let me tell you, but I wouldn't get it again. I like the insane amount of adhesive that Kilmat gives you. I don't want to do carpet again. I'm done. I don't want to replace carpet anymore, and I do have my vet coming up that I'm going to have to replace the carpet on. I learned a lot, for sure. I put this in one day. I let it actually relax in the sun before I installed it, but just getting it to lay how it should, and this is good carpet too. I didn't cheap out. It's OC carpet. I think it was like I don't know, 300 bucks, or everything seems to be 300 bucks. But yeah, it was just really hard to get laid down properly. And so I think that if I had pre-cut those holes using the old carpet as a template, it would have helped. I ended up getting the carpet so filthy anyways. I don't know what my point was, that like I didn't want to get it dirty. That was absurd. And then I can kind of start putting in little pieces. So like the back speaker covers, front little kick panel, just installing little things here and there. I gotta wait a little bit for the carpet still to relax. The top weather stripping, that can go back in. It feels really good reinstalling this stuff because it's been laying in my garage for, you know, much longer than I would have liked. And things were like all jolly and great, and I decided that I was going to start even reinstalling some plastics. And then I realized that I couldn't, I don't know what I did with the bolts. I don't know what I did with them. I mean, I had like a few here and a few there, but like the rivet, couldn't find anything. It was like, I don't know. I put them in a very important place. So special that I'll probably never know where it was. It was like the different side of my brain hid them from me. I hid them from myself. So I went to LMR, late model restoration, and I found all the bolts that I needed. It was like a bag of bolts for 30 bucks. And I did hate spending the money because I know I have them somewhere, but it made life so much easier just to get that bag of bolts. Just when I thought my day couldn't be more exciting, I got a special delivery from good old Dominion. On that truck is my bumper for my Bentley. It's arrived, and it's like kind of daunting when you're getting a bumper and you're still in the middle of another project. But I opened the box, the quality was great, the driver was super nice, he let me inspect everything. Can't wait to slap it on my car. The only hard part about not having a front seat is everything. It's all of it. I had to park my car because I couldn't finish in a single day, so I had to move my car without a front seat. I tried pillows, I tried, you know, crates and boxes. Someone was like, oh, try a milk crate. Where do I get a milk crate? Who has milk crates? Milk crates? I don't have a milkman. Do they still deliver milk anymore? Somebody was like, oh no, get an apple crate. I don't have apple crates. What am I in, like, farmland? An apple crate would be great, but I just didn't have one, so I just sat on the floor. The hard part was that the clutch is really hard to push in. That's another job for another day. And so every time I pushed the clutch in, I would just slide back. But I got it done. So thank you so much for watching. This is such a fun renovation, I can't even stand it. Also, I'm shooting in a really loud spot. I didn't mean to pick such a loud spot. So I'll see you next week, and if you miss me during the week, check out my Instagram and my TikTok, because I'm there every single day posting content for you guys. See you later. That was a Mach 1 Mustang that just drove by. White. Like a new one. I'm going home.